That'll help me get better sound if I actually plug in my own microphone. In this YouTube channel, we value children coming to know and follow Jesus for a lifetime. Our aim in this channel is to create relevant, bite-sized videos with skills, ideas, resources, methods for families and children's leaders. Though our vast team of global leaders have powerful messages to share, we know that it is challenging to stand in front of a camera and record a video. Hello everyone, my name is Jonathan and I'm part of the Global 1 for 50 movement. In this short video, we want to help you to use what you have available to you in your home to create the best possible video. We want you, our global leaders, to be successful as you capture your wisdom, stories, and experiences so that together we can equip more leaders around the world to reach, disciple, and empower the next generation. Let's get started. Before you begin, make sure that your camera settings are set up correctly on your phone. We recommend 1080p HD at 60 FPS in order to retain the best quality while still making your file small enough to send easily. So this would be an example of the ideal setup. I've positioned my iPhone inside of my ring light. I put my laptop with my script on a stool on a desk in front of my camera so that I can actually see my script without having a lot of eye motion from looking away. Another thing to consider is the angle of the camera as you're taking the shot. Positioning your camera too high will make you look weak and inferior. This is probably not the best angle for your camera lens. Though this angle makes you look more superior and imposing, it's not the most flattering view of your face, as it accentuates the underside of your chin and your nose hairs. For Instagram or Snapchat, this vertical angle works great, but as we're capturing video for our stories, horizontal is much better than vertical. Right now, my camera is set to be at eye level, and this is going to give me my optimal shot. One option for you when you're recording is to move to one side or the other as you're recording. This allows us to float video or text or images to your side. This is an example of a background that is maybe a little bit too busy. Although it might look nice, it could end up distracting from the message that you share. Sometimes when you're recording, you can hear background noises. Right now there's some announcements on the street, there's an air conditioning unit running, and these things can interfere and distract from the message that you're sharing in your video. You might have the best camera, the best equipment, and the best message to share. But if your lighting is terrible and you're standing in front of a bright window, your shot's going to be awful and no one will hear your great message. They'll just be looking at your bad footage. One of the things to pay attention to when you're setting up your video equipment is light and lighting. Light is the natural light in the space that you're recording. I've positioned myself near an open window where I'm getting some nice daylight. It's late morning, so I'm getting good light in my space. But in some cases, I might want to add additional lighting. And that would be an additional unit that you might add to get a different angle of light or a different color of light on your face while you're filming. Using anything you have at home. It can be just a table lamp, a desk lamp, something very simple. You don't have to go out and buy expensive equipment to add lighting to your shot. In this case, I'm using a ring light directly in front of me to add a little bit more light value to my face. I also have a desk lamp situated behind me on the floor to backlight my clean background. But adding a bit of lighting will increase the value and make your footage look a little bit better. When you're filming, be sure to check to make sure that you're properly exposed. If you're overexposed and you have too much light in your frame, the video becomes really hard to work with and it just doesn't look good no matter how much you edit it. If your film is underexposed, again, the video becomes very difficult to work with and it's really hard to make it look right in the end. As you capture the message you'd like to share, a great idea is to use B-roll footage. B-roll footage is supplementary video feed that tells the story of what you're sharing about. If you're describing a person or a scene, then take your camera and go outside and film in horizontal mode and capture some images and some scenes of the children or the people that you're talking about in your video. Send these videos along with your original video footage, and we can splice them all together to create a beautiful story. If you don't have the means to stand far back and you have to position yourself closer to your camera, one of the challenges that you'll encounter is the eye movement that you have as you read your script. I've positioned my script below my camera, and it's quite obvious to see as I glance at my script that I'm reading from a script as I'm sharing on the camera. The solution to this is to film in small chunks. Read your script, take a deep breath, and then say it to the camera and then pause. One of the benefits of standing a little further back from your camera as you record is the opportunity for you to read from your script and have it be less noticeable when your eyes glance to your script. One of the disadvantages of standing a little further back from your camera is the sound quality might not be captured as well as if you were standing or sitting closer to your camera. Right now, I've overcome that disadvantage by using a lapel mic that's plugged directly into my phone. You can hear the difference if I don't use the lapel mic and I stand further away from my camera, that my sound quality is not as good. We recognize in some parts of the world bandwidth and internet is a problem, and so sending your files can be a challenge. One of the challenges people often face when they're filming and preparing their video in order to send to me so that I can edit them is sending the actual files. If they take one long stream of video and try and send it, you'll face some challenges. A solution to this is to film in smaller chunks. This also helps as you're reading your script and doing the script in bite-sized pieces so you don't struggle as much with reading your script. When the editor receives your film, it's in a high enough quality to manipulate the footage and turn it into something that's beautiful. You can use a couple different options for sending your files. You can use Dropbox, Google Drive, or you can use a program like WeTransfer. We don't recommend that you send your files by Facebook Messenger or even by email, as the files get compressed and the quality gets lost. In addition to filming your script, one fun thing that you can do is make some fun shots. This allows us in the editing process to use those shots as part of the thumbnail where we feature your video in the introduction. Thanks for joining us. For more information on how to reach, disciple, and empower your children, go to our website at www.onefor50today.net.